Thank you. Thank you. But I got to tell you something now. I'm having musician envy. I must really. I'm always awestruck when I'm in the company of musicians because you friggin' people are the coolest people on the planet. There's no doubt about that. I'm like so like, I'm serious. Like, is Mike like? We just saw Mike. Is he like the friggin' rock star of the gods or what? Like, I'm like, you know, what am I doing here? For crying out loud. I'm serious. You guys are like, you know, you're musicians. I don't care what level you consider yourself, you're musicians. Your DNA puts you one gene sequence away from like Lennon, Dylan, okay? Miles Davis. I'm a comedian, okay? My DNA puts me one gene sequence away from a cat video, you know? So, I mean, come on. What am I even doing? You know, I gotta admit, I am a little envious because musicians, when they get up, there's always that sort of like all-consuming mic check. You know, the sound check, the mic check. You know, oh, how's that? Little up on one, little down on two, and it's like there's this whole technical thing. Tom, I want a mic check. I'll tell you what. Well, no, I mean, yeah, sure, I could, you know, but let me do it like, you know, like the comedian's equivalent to music. Let me try my impressions. Okay, so let me just mic check my Ray Romano. Oh, I'm gonna mic check my Ray Romano now. Okay, here we go. I'll try. Deborah.
Now that mic's not working. No.
Deborah. There was a mishap with the lawnmower. Okay, I don't know. All right, I can try my. How about my Gordon Lightfoot? No, okay. Let me mic check my Gordon Lightfoot. Sundown, you better take care. How's that? Okay. And now we're ready to go. Okay, I got my vocal cords. Okay. No, but seriously, you guys walk on the water. What am I doing here? Come on, really. It's hard, you know. The thing about it is, I work with a lot of musicians, and then I go through this whole self-esteem, like, you know, crash, you know, because like I just, you know, walked in the shadows of the gods, and you know, what am I doing? I wake up every day though. I rebound every day. I go home, and I wake up in the morning, and I rejuvenate my spirits because I have my daily affirmation in the mirror. It sounds corny, doesn't it? It is wonderful. I stand there every morning in the mirror after a deflating evening with the musicians, and I look at myself and I tell myself that it's all fine, and it really goes. These are really wonderful sessions. Sometimes my daily affirmations lead to inappropriate touching, but you know. But it's consensual. What? But. We're all coping with different stuff. Boy, I tell you, everybody's got a cross to bear. I tell you, I'm, you know, survivor, heart attack survivor. Any other heart attackies in the room tonight? I'm the only. It's inevitable. Last night I'm in a room. I did a show last night. There had to be about 70 guys in the room who were like, you know, like 70 years old, right? So I go, you know, I ask any other heart attackies, you know, it's like nobody raised their hand. I'm like, oh, come on. What are you trying? This is like, you know, they're trying to avoid an insurance bump up or something. I don't know. They weren't coming. I mean, come on. What's the law of averages? I had a heart attack at 49. And, you know, whatever. Okay. I'm not trying to scare anybody. Don't worry. Listen, you know, you'll be okay. It's 2016. We're all going to be fine. And he's holding his chest like, he's like, I'm talking. He's like grabbing his chest like, no. Well, it's true. After a while, you know, you all of a sudden you feel like you got this organ in your freaking chest cavity, and you got to baby it, and you got to, you know, I'm like protecting it like it's the last pet rock on eBay now. You know, I'm like, you know, so, you know, I'm so protective of it, you know. But anyway, it's tough getting old, you know, whatever, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. You know, it's like, it's hard. And I know I have not aged gracefully. I know, I don't, and yes, I can see you're trying not to nod your head up and down, but I have not aged gracefully, I know. But it wasn't like hard living, right? My family, everybody, they hit 50 and they look like hell. No, it's really, and you know, and the women, worse, oh my God, the poor women in my family, worse than the men. I grew up with this photograph. This is all from the Victorian era. All my great aunts, you know, and it used to scare the hell out. In the center of it was my great aunt Lida May. This is a real person, Lida May, sitting there in her Victorian collar and everything. My God, she was the most horrifically terrifying looking woman I've ever seen in my life. And I was like a child. I used to have night terrors about this, you know. It was like she used to put me in the mind of like the closest, you know, similarity in appearance when she had a sort of a rough approximation of like Chewbacca, you know. It was like, but it was really night terrors from this. I was a child, but luckily I grew up. My parents, first generation hippies, they had the round the clock trip tent in the living room, and I was able to, you know, go in the trip tent and, you know, and talked out of it. So that was a saving grace. But yeah, I'll tell you, if I could set my clock back, I don't know what year you guys would pick. 1952. 52. You want 1952. No, I'm talking about like, I know. Listen, in 1952, you weren't even carbon dust in 1952. What year was your year that you would freeze in time?
77.
Did you say 74? Dude. See, that's how 55-year-old guys do it. They, you know, whatever. But no, 74, that's what I was going to say. 74, friggin', I was like a sight to behold. I was friggin' hot shit. I had hair I had hair better than Mike's hair. I had Rocksteady hair. I'm serious. I was like, oh my God, I had a physique. My shoulders fanned out like highway exit ramps. Man, I was beautiful. This was my golden era, man. I just, you know, freezing. I was right out of the pages of Tiger Beat magazine. It was beautiful. Really was, you know. But no, you know, whatever. You know, what are you going to do? Time marches on. So there's one saving grace about getting all this. You know, really, I got to, no, seriously, thank God my menstrual cycle stopped, you know. Really. And I don't, why do I get this reaction, like when I talk about the fact that I'm female? You know, this gender profiling crap, it ends here, okay? Why? Because I look like a man? Every family tree has an aunt that looks like Merv Griffin. We all know that, right? You put that Merv Griffin looking aunt on the Slim Fast diet, this is what's left. I'm telling you. I told you the women in my family aged really bad. I told you about Lina May. Anyway, so anyway, where are we going? Oh, so anyway, here's a silver lining to, you know, getting old. For me, knock wood, I kept the weight off. I don't know how this happened, but I'm serious. I'm 55 years old. I still got a bony rib cage. I'm serious. If I take my sweater off, it's going to look like I swallowed a picket fence. I swear to God. That's the one saving grace, I tell you. But I got to tell you, there's no. Hey, listen. If the anorexic community had a monthly magazine, I'd make the swimsuit edition, probably. I think, you know. But I got to tell you, though, the thing about it is, this American Gandhi, look, it opens doors, you know? Because when you are bald and bespeckled, and you have a third world physique, people think you have wisdom, you know? They do. They think, you know, so I get invited, complete, this is all, like, they're not wise to the fact that I am way too dumb for this face and this body. I know that, but I get invited to, like, you know, like classy garden parties with the intelligentsia, you know, because they think that I'm, like, you know, like worthy of something, you know. There's a learning curve in there when you're trying to pass among the elites. I got to tell you, there's a learning curve. Like when when the waiter passes the imported foie gras on the crostini with the dill garnish, okay, you don't ask where the ranch dressing is. You know, you just, you let that go. But anyway, yeah, so here we are. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to be back anytime soon, Tom. I'm thinking of a career. No. It's not that I'm despondent over that. I'm just thinking of a career change. Listen, being a C-list comedian has been like, nothing but, it's like, hey, it's the life, I gotta admit. It's, we all know it's all about, like the sex and the drugs. Let's face it, obviously, yes. But no, you want to talk about sex and drugs. I think this is why I'm tempted to go to revisit a former career of mine. Oh my God. Talk about the sex and drugs, the career failed novelist. Oh my God. Now that was the life I left. Oh my God. Sure, right now, it's nothing but, fast, babes, and, broads and booze and everything else. But no, let me tell you something. That failed novelist career, oh, that's lovely. You talk about the drugs there. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Sure, you can talk about the life we're living now and the purity of that Colombian cocaine. Let me tell you what, that failed novelist, you go through that third clinical depression after your 11th rejection from publishing houses, and that doctor-prescribed Prozac is as pure as the driven snow, I gotta tell you. Oh, and talk about the sex. Oh, sure, they're lining up in the back of the comedy clubs all night long. Well, most of them are looking for green card marriages, but no. But I'm talking about the sex life of a failed novelist. Are you kidding me? Intermittent sex with your wife? Oh my God, it's beautiful. All right, quick geometry lesson before I leave. I just want to by the way, I was sitting behind you the whole time, and I got to tell you something. I don't mean to show you up. Okay, but you want to talk about bald spots. All right, you're like still AAA. Okay, all right. You want to see, have you ever seen a more geometrically correct bald spot than that? Is that the most precise? Huh? All right, notice there are no deviations here. There's no sandbars, no peninsulas. There's never been a territorial dispute between my barber and my dermatologist, okay? This is like world peace in our time. There's no Gaza Strip going up here, no Syrian border insurgency. It's just like whatever. A lot of people in the bald community think I've had work done, but anyway. All right, that's it. Play me off, Tom. I'm out. Okay.
Let's do another mic check.